Alright everybody, welcome back to Conquering Commander. Today we're going to be looking at a two-headed giant game featuring the Nature of the Beast pre-constructed deck. For more on this deck and my thoughts about it, go to puremtgo.com, look up my article series Conquering Commander. You should see an article there about it. Let's just jump right into it. This is two-headed giant, so let's take a look at my teammate here. Teammate's going to be Prime Speaker Zegana, and I made a Prime Speaker deck, and this guy takes a little bit of a different route, but it's more or less the same. It's fat creatures and ramp. So it's good to have Prime Speaker on my side. Going up against us is Grand Arbiter Augustin IV, who does a good job of slowing people down, making its own spells cheaper, and being a pretty good control deck. Grand Arbiter's teammate is going to be Sharuum the Hegemon, artifact creatures, and possibly Sphinx Tribal. Esper control with artifacts, basically always a threat wherever Sharuum shows up. Let's take a look at my hand here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands with Rupture Spire, giving me my red mana. My 2 non-land cards are Slice and Dice and Street Spasm. Not the best, but not the worst either. My teammate has 3 lands and basically wants to draw a 4th, so he can play Explosive Vegetation or Garruk. And when you combine with Red Replication and Terastodon, that's not a bad hand either. Pretty sure we both keep. My play space is up here in this upper right-hand corner. Oh no, I'm sorry, lower right-hand corner. Sharuum goes with the first turn Ancestral Vision. Grand Arbiter plays Telepathy. And Telepathy is, one of those cards that are like, well, it doesn't really do anything, but it gives you a lot of information, and I've been seeing it played a lot recently. People hate seeing Telepathy come up against them, so I've seen it get destroyed a lot too. Anyways, my teammate's drawn into Sylvan Primordial and Draining Wilk. Still waiting for that 4th land. I play a 2nd turn Rupture Spire. Reliquary Tower for Sharuum. Grand Arbiter has nothing. My teammate draws into the 4th land. I play my Naya Panorama. So Sharuum plays Cloud Key, obviously set to artifacts. Grand Arbiter has nothing. So this allows Prime Speaker to go ahead and Explosive Vegetation. Not much going on early on, and I've got nothing going on my turn either. 3-hand Dynamo for Sharuum, and then nothing. Grand Arbiter plays his commander. So Prime Speaker goes ahead and plays Garruk, and I sacrifice my Panorama for a mountain. Garruk untaps a couple lands to play Coiling Oracle and ramps into another forest. So I go ahead, in order to avoid discarding, I just Fireball for 2, hitting our opponents. Not that it's a huge deal, but I wanted to play my Sanctuary. Ancestral Vision goes off, drawing Sharuum some cards. And she plays Stroke of Genius, targeting herself because she's got Reliquary Tower out there. So she's got 10 cards in hand. She looks like she's digging for another land, probably. Grand Arbiter copies the 3-hand Dynamo and plays Weathered Wayfarer and attacks. So now Prime Speaker has enough mana to go ahead and Terastodon or Sylvan Primordial. He goes for Terastodon. He takes out the 2 Dynamos plus the Telepathy. But they both know what's in both of our hands now. I play Marath. So Sharuum plays Amnesia, targeting the Prime Speaker player. Amnesia is kind of an old school card that you never really see played much anymore, but it can hurt pretty bad, and there's no way to counter it. Luckily for Prime Speaker, he can just cast his commander and draw 9 cards off Trastodon. So he no longer has a hand. The Wayfarer searches up Soldavia Excavations and plays it. Attacks with the elephants and Grand Arbiter. Grand Arbiter gets blocked by Trastodon. Oh, they went after Garrick. My bad. All those guys went after Garrick. So, luckily, Prime Speaker drew in a counterspell. This is lucky because once Prime Speaker tries to come out, Grand Arbiter tries to forbid, and that's where the counterspell comes in. So now, actually has a pretty good hand. Teferi, Mana Crypt, Snow-Covered Land, Rhystic Study, Capsize, Soul Ring, Copy Artifact. It's a lot of good stuff. So he's going to get in there for 9. I went ahead and I killed Weathered Wayfarer with Marath. And he plays Mana Crypt, Soul Ring into Rhystic Study. On my turn, I play Mold Shambler, getting rid of the Cloud Key. Basically, Prime Speaker does a lot of the heavy lifting here. There's Trinket Mage from Sharuum, allowing Prime Speaker to draw a card. He searches up Soul Ring and plays it, paying the mana, and then Phyrexian Metamorph, copying the Soul Ring. 2 more elephants come in. Prime Speaker blocks 1, and Arbiter casts Terminus, getting rid of both of our commanders, which is a pain in the ass, but you know, I actually kind of like what my hand looks like right now. You'll see why in a second here. So, Prime Speaker kind of holds off. He's basically going to try and flash out Teferi right before his turn. I, on the other hand, am going to play Avenger of Cmdr. The plan is to play From the Ashes next turn. Sharuum plays Worn Powerstone, allowing Prime Speaker to draw, and Treasure Mage, searching up Wormcoil Engine. Grand Arbiter does nothing. So, you know, we're talking right here, and he's like, well, I want to draw out a counterspell from Grand Arbiter if he's going to do it. So what he does is he uses Capsize with Buyback to bounce the Soldavia Excavations, figuring that that would definitely guarantee a counterspell. But Grand Arbiter does not have a counter, so it just gets bounced, which means he can flash out Teferi with impunity, which he does. So now he's got enough mana to capsize something every turn with Buyback. He's just going to sit back. Meanwhile, I go ahead and do the From the Ashes. It gets rid of 4 of my lands, and I get 4 more basics to pop in, making all my plant tokens huge. And then I've got 1 more land drop. And I go ahead and play Warstorm Surge. And I attack for like 10, 20, 30, 35 or 40. And then he capsizes Reliquary Tower. So Sharuum concedes, and the Grand Arbiter player concedes. So anyhow, it was kind of a team. Like basically, we were going to be in control in the end. You know, having enough mana to capsize all the time annoys the crap out of people, but sometimes it happens. All right, guys. Thanks a ton.